Waste away your life and linger. Sitting at home watching Jerry Springer. Do blackface and a monkey shine. Cut a jig at the same time. Cause niggas is a beautiful thing. Niggas is a beautiful thing. Hit me. Niggas is a beautiful thing.
What's going on? Amin Unscripted, KVMN, burning down the master's house once again. Please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and donate. Also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload future content. This is going to be a short video today. Well, this particular video will be a short video. I may do a couple of more uploads, who knows. But I've figured out that in the morning, and when you awaken, your thoughts are fresh. Thoughts are fresh. They've, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your body has had some time to marinate and rejuvenate from the prior day. You've had some time to process certain things that have taken place in the days prior. And I love it ultimately because there's certain people that when I awaken, I communicate with them the genuine altruism of my own heart and how they truly perceive it. Like, who knows? I just deal with the truth of my own heart. And that's what you essentially have to do. So, I reach out to my people and, they may like and thumbs up. And I'm so grateful for coming away from social media and seeking validation with total strangers. But now I can just focus on the truth of my own heart and the people that those things pertain to. Sometimes I may awaken and have a thought to text someone based on conversations that we had maybe a year ago, maybe a month ago, maybe a day ago, who knows? But one thing I've learned is that people don't deal with the truth, the truths, and the truth of their own heart. I don't have a choice. It feels better to have a pure conscience, to have a pure heart, to have clarity. I can't tell you the amount of people that don't have clarity about their own circumstances, their own situations in life. They don't have clarity. They're not even seeking clarity. They spend too much time being inebriated, seeking the validations of others, not spending time in any sort of creative space that allows them to create their own masterpiece in this life. And that masterpiece may not yield you $1 million. It may not even yield you 100,000. It may not yield you anything. But when you're operating in the truth of your own heart, that is the only satisfaction that you truly need. And you allow the Spirit to handle the rest. This text thread that you're looking at is a conversation I was having with my cousin. One of my closest cousins. I love this girl. She's so wild. She always been like that since we was kids. But, just to see that her eyes are open. And, I text her this morning, this day to, to visit this Vietnamese grocery store that I'd been to quite a few times, actually, with other people. And she'd never been there before. So we're going to make that trek in the morning. And, it's just because we were, just seeking better food prices, a better selection, a fresher, healthier selection. Because, man, I'm so over the big corporations. I'm so over fucking Aldi or Kroger. Even Cash Saver here in Memphis. That whole model, that whole business model is such robbery. And our people don't really pay attention to some of the intricacies of how finances really work, especially in the so-called Black community where we don't own our stores. We a lot of us, we don't own the big stores in the so-called Black community. Some corporation does. Some predominantly white corporation, what have you, owns those stores. So it doesn't really make a difference as so-called Black people where you shop at, because you don't own any of it. Everything is coming out of your pockets and going into somebody else's demographic. And then you have those of us that get used to, Instacart. You're going to Instacart everything to you. You're constantly paying fees for an infrastructure that you didn't create. And it's all, to me, may not be you, but to me, it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. Like, I have no clue. Well, I do have a clue. I have more than one clue as to why the so-called Negro refuses to come together and build something of sustainable value for themselves and for their community. It's just amazing to me that we will come together and spend money at the club and, bottle service and all this. Like, your typical Black person, your typical so-called Negro wants to live this rapper, hot girl, fantasy lifestyle or something, and it's just a facade. Why aren't you growing watermelon patches or growing melons or something? You know what I'm saying? Growing berries, planting trees for apples and oranges and whatever for the next generation. No, the generation that came before us taught us to do some of the same stupid shit, same slave-minded narratives that continues to drive this shit forward, man. That continues to perpetuate the problems that we consistently face in the so-called Black community. And these niggas don't want to wake up. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to create a better future for their children. They keep selling their children off to the highest bidder, to some NBA team, some NFL team, to some school for scholarship money. Oh, my baby gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? These single mothers continue to sell their children off, push their children off, or, be abusive and control their children to a degree where their children even run away. You begin to build resentment for your mother, your father, etc. I don't care what nobody says. The black community is still plagued with some of the same problems that have always been here and will probably still be here. And now with the pressures of so-called Trump and ICE and, especially here in Memphis, the way that these agencies have just descended upon Memphis. And you have Mayor Paul Young and his... Don't get me fucking started on this guy. Because I know people who was a part of his campaign, and someone very close to me was a part of his campaign and told me some things that they witnessed. It's just very interesting to me. Just very, very interesting to me. The so-called black community was sold out a long time ago, and it was sold out by these pedophilic, money-hungry ass pastors. It was sold out by these frat boy and soror sister ass politicians. The black community was sold out from under them time and time again. We can go all the way back to before 1933. And I say before 1933 because that's the year that The Miseducation of the Negro was published by Carter G. Woodson, my guy, because Carter was hitting shit on the head even back then. This man was thinking critically enough to be like, okay, if you're doing this now, this is going to fuck the future up. So I give much kudos to Carter G. Woodson and a lot of his work. But our people are still blind today. So many of us are still blind to the facts that are in front of you. It's not hidden anymore. It's right here in front of you. And either you're refusing to see it or you're just blind. It's one of the two. You refuse to see it or you're actually blind. And I think a great deal of us refuse to see the truth, refuse to say something about it, refuse to do anything about it because you want to be nice. You want to come off as a good person and make it, you're trying to earn points with God or something. Then we went over that word before, what it really means. This deity, this Anglo-Saxon deity. Yeah, we're dealing with primordial deities over here. Chaos beings over here. I wish Negroes would wake the hell up, man. I wish Negroes would wake the hell up. But anyway. That's my rant for today. I'm not fixing to go into this huge diatribe. This is a hit it and quit it video. But anyway, please be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the store, the first link in the pinned comment, as well as the description box. Support my work. I am a graphic designer. I am a photographer. I am a videographer. And I do make beats. This is under a business. And I'm doing what I enjoy doing. And I don't wake up every day marketing and hey, how you doing? Would you like some graphic designs? Well, hey, I can take your picture. Would you like me to take your picture? If you see my work and you like it, and you want to work together, fine. If you don't, fine. Because the Spirit always provides. It has some way of always providing for you. The bird does not go out and know how it's going to feed itself. It goes out operating on faith. Every other animal in the universe goes out operating on faith. You still have animals where we're looking for a water hole. We're going to find one. It's going to be one up ahead. And then they find the fucking water hole. You're going to find your water hole and be nourished. This has been another episode of Amin Unscripted, Burning Down the Master's House. I'm your host, Amin. I'm out. Peace.